Hello, it's me again. My family and my animals are around, so you get a little glimpse of my home life here probably, but it's just fine. I just want to go over the vocabulary words for the origami group. The origami group is unique in that these are deaf kids that are reading at a pretty high level, and so they have pretty hard vocabulary words. A lot of times the vocabulary words don't have a sign for them. A lot of times they would be spelled, which makes spelling tests difficult. Spelling tests become sort of a vocabulary quiz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the way we've explained the words to the kids as well as is possible, and then you'll be able to kind of help them as they practice. So anyway, first word on the list is molted, which they're talking about a seal, that when it's a seal pup in the story, after a while the seal starts out and it's white, and then it starts to lose its white-colored fur, and there's a stone-colored skin underneath. So basically, it's pretty simple. We would just sign. Let's see if I can get the camera in a good place for my hands here. We would just sign the sign for skin. Just kind of take a pinch there, and this is how I just basically explain to you: skin, and then I'd spell fur, or you can sign fur off. That's what it means. Okay. So it's a word that there's not exactly a sign for, but you can kind of show the concepts, and the kids should be able to connect the words because they're reading the story a lot right now, and they're practicing it a lot. Kind of off-center here. Trying to say the production values weren't going to be great, and you get what you pay for. So. We have quay is another word. Quay. It was pretty funny. On Wednesday, Renee was trying to give the spelling test with that word, and so she asked me, she said, "What is a quay? I don't know how to explain it or how to sign it." And I thought for a minute, and I said, "I don't know." That's the first time there was a vocabulary word I'd given to the kids that I didn't know what it meant. So we went and looked it up, and it basically just means it's a dock or a pier that goes out, and boats can connect to it, and they can take stuff off the boat or load stuff onto the boat at the quay. So we're just explaining it as like a big dock. It's kind of close to the ocean, and that the boats pull up to the dock, and then they can load and unload stuff, or they can tie up to the dock there, or just kind of describing what a quay is. And what you'll see is the kids are pretty familiar with it already, so if you explain it just a little bit, you'll say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is," and they'll start writing it down. The next word is basked, which basically means just to kind of lie in the sun. The way we would explain it to them is we'd show the sign for sunshine, and then we'd show just the sign for someone or something lying down. So sunshine is like a C at your cheek and comes up. Then this hand shape turns around, and it's kind of hard for me to keep all this on the camera. It turns around and shines. Actually, in this case, the sun would come up and it would turn around and shine down on your hand, and then it's like two fingers together on the back, on the flat palm. This is my right hand on the flat palm, okay? So it's a pretty complicated sign. Sun, then this hand turns, trying to bring in the camera for you, turns to shine on this hand, and then the two hands lying flat, or the two fingers lying flat on the other flat hand. So that would be for basked, something just lying comfortably in the sun. We have buffeted. And it's funny, I was just telling my wife that I looked up, trying to check, the online dictionaries to see if there were any of these words I didn't know the sign for. So, buffeted, I knew it would not show up in the dictionary, but just curious just to make sure I checked. And the word I found was buffet, which I can tell you, if you don't know, is just eat, 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 and then you have the flat arm, and there are clumps of food along your arm. So I thought it was kind of funny. But for the sign that they're practicing, buffeted, what we're actually doing is, in this story, it's water and rain and wind. So we use our index finger just to represent a person standing there. And we sign rain, like the rain's coming at the finger, and then the wind is kind of actually contacting that finger and blowing it around. So they're really being hit by the weather. Next vocabulary word is horizon. Horizon. And basically, the simple way to explain all this is You know, there's the sky, and then there's either the earth or the water, the ocean here. And where they touch, where they come together and touch, there's a line. That line is called the horizon. Slow it down just a little bit there. So, you know, really, even a simple sign like this is probably pretty clear to the kids. If you sign the sky and the ocean and then there's a line, they're going to understand what that means for horizon. The next word is surf. You know, I asked the kids, because I always kind of, you can't really show, but I always kind of have my hands out like I was surfing, and put your fingers on the back of the hand and kind of have it going all over the place, or going forward, or riding the waves. But really this is pretty clear, just even this sign with the back of your hand representing the surfboard, the two fingers standing on it, and moving around. The next vocabulary word is, I'm going to back up just a little bit, see if I can fit in here better, swoop. Really that word is just describing the motion, the kind of movement. So, like for example, a bird, can't seem to fit today, I think I'm just still too close. Sorry. So a bird could swoop in. You're just kind of showing the motion with your hand. Swoop. Swoop. So any verb that you're using, like swoop, the vocabulary word sometimes will have ing or ed added to the end of it. If that's true, if the word has that added, then you can sign past for ed. So if the word was swooped, you could add the ed that way, just signing it's in the past. Okay. Next word is elated, which is, it's very simple, it just means very happy. So if you know the sign for happy, then it's pretty easy to show the kids what word they're needing to practice spelling. The next word is dissolved. Basically your hands, it's called a, well, they're going to close from almost a, it's not a bent five, it has a name for the hand shape that's escaping, but it's going to close into what's called a flat O hand shape with the fingers pointing up. Okay. And once it closes here, then you're going to run your thumb along your fingers till it comes out, and the fingers kind of close in on your palm. So from the other side, the movement looks like this. It goes from like a letter B, kind of moves to an A. So you just do it with the palms of your hands facing dissolved. Dissolved, okay. We're actually doing two sets of these words. So I'm trying to make sure I have everything here. There's a sign that I always signed, it's reflection. I always learned reflection, it's kind of the same sign for mirror, reflection. But I just, looking on the dictionary just now, I saw another sign that was interesting, that I think it was a good sign, that it was like the index finger touching your cheek and your other hand up, which is going to be like the mirror, and like this, your face here bounces off and then out. So you sign touch here and then your hand and out, reflection. I think it was a deaf adult who was signing that on ASL Pro, so just another option for you, reflection or reflection. Okay. Then we also have flippers, which is not really a sign for it, but you just kind of show what it is. Flippers, we're talking about seals. You can sign, the harder way is to actually cross your hands and do this, but people also do this for seal. And so they're flippers. That's how they swim. So there'll be more words to come for this unit. There's concentrated, deserted, muscle, not muscle, which some of the kids thought, which is cute, but muscle, like the shellfish that people look for food, and panic. The sign I can show you now. So anyway, we'll pick up those words on the new vocabulary sheet soon. And that's it for tonight. I'll start uploading this, and I hope it helps. Have a good night.